Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back everyone, welcome back to another edition of Veefour. Now then, now we've gone through the predicted return of winter, which always hits the UK around this time of year, end of April, beginning of May. Every year for the last 5 years it's done it, or there and thereabouts anyway. I've not got the meteorological data to hand to back that comment up, but it certainly feels like it. So it's been like almost winter again the last week, but it seems to have cleared up a bit now. So, and it fortunately set in after my last track day, which was at Donnington Park. Now you may have noticed that on my uploaded videos recently, if you actually have the notifications for it, which I'm not going to beg you to activate by pressing the bell and all that shit. If you want to watch it, you watch it. But I've uploaded 3 videos from my recent trip to Donington Park on the 24th of April, which was a no limits road bike only event. Now I've done these before. I really like the no limits road bikes only because it is just that, road bikes. No tyre warmers allowed, road machines only on a 98 decibel flyby test, so no super fast, well, super tuned up bikes. It's all pretty much road stock stuff, and they don't have as many bikes on track, which I really enjoy, so you have a bit more freedom on there. Now it's my first track day of the year, and obviously it's my first time I've ridden on track since, oh crikey, is it going to be maybe August, early September last year, 2016. So I've not had any more experience than what I had last year. If you've ever watched my video where I'm touring around the Trossachs in Scotland, and I'm just ranting, well not ranting, but I'm mumbling away about something called creative visualization. Now in that little chat I talk about how imagining things in a high degree of clarity is the same as actually doing them in reality, and that the brain will interpret creatively visualized environments as being real. So your brain will actually learn muscle memory and things like that from an imagined scenario. This is what racing drivers and racing riders do. They creatively visualize the perfect lap of when to brake, when to peel in, when to get on the power, what line to take. And especially with the limited amount of testing and practice that they can do in professional racing, it's the next best thing to actually getting out on your bike and ride, because it conditions your brain to ride that way when you actually are on track. Now over winter, while I've not been riding so much, and I've certainly not been doing any track days, I've been doing just that. I've been watching videos on YouTube of track sessions on Donington. Very boring to most people, but I find it fascinating, I really do. And it also helps me to learn the best lines, especially when you're looking at people who ride in fast groups and things like that. So that's what I've been doing. I've been imagining how when it comes down to my track days in 2017, how I'm going to try and improve. My God, that turn signal must have been on for 10 minutes. Oh, I need to get some kind of bleep on this. Because it's not in the line of sight, I don't see it. But anyway, back to the point. So when it come time to go out on track on Monday, on my 2016 R1, which is pretty much bone stock apart from some cosmetic upgrades. It's got no performance upgrades at all. And for the first session it was raining, so I went out, did the mandatory sighting laps, and came back in and sat the next 2 sessions out while the track dried up. And eventually it did dry up, and when I went out after that, went on a nearly dry track, I just found myself going so much faster than I thought I would do. Surprised myself really, and I felt really confident. I mean, part of that's going to be with this bike because it just inspires confidence, because it's been built to go around tracks very fast. but some of it, and a lot of it, was me. I just felt much more confident getting on the power more, especially through sections of Donington like Hollywood through Craner to the old hairpin, which is usually my bit of a bogey section, because the Craner curve's got a bit of a reputation as being a crashing corner. It's a sort of slightly off camber downhill left-hander. And in the track world, motorbike racing world around Donington, there's a bit of a saying, and the saying is, there are those who have crashed at Craner, and there are those who will crash at Craner. Now, I fall into the latter category, and I'm not in any great rush to hurry that event along in any way, shape or form, so I tend to roll off a little bit. But I've been comparing my footage from last Monday the 24th, and from the day itself I knew I was going quick because I was just passing everyone. There's only one guy got past me the whole day. I'm not saying I was the fastest guy out there, I wasn't, but people weren't catching me up, and I was passing people. So there's people setting off in front of me who I wouldn't catch up, but they certainly weren't lapping me or catching me up that I would see them in the rear facing footage of my camera. So I was doing okay. And the group that I was in was I suppose the ersatz fast group, because in road bike days they don't have a fast group per se. What they have is novice stroke intermediates and intermediates. So naturally people who would go in the fast group of an open track day would go in the intermediates group. And to be fair, there were some people there who shouldn't have been there, but that's their problem, not mine. But anyway, la-di-da. So I'm riding what I think really well, but on reviewing the footage back, I'm still only lapping in 156, 157, and I felt so much faster than that. And looking back through the footage and comparing it to some of the footage I've recently been watching of fast group riders on litre bikes going through the same sections I have, they're carrying the same speed that I'm carrying. They're doing about 110 through Craner, 115, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm not exactly slow on the pace. On the back straight, they're all hitting like 140, 145, like I'm doing. And they seem to be doing the same speed through all the corners that I do, but yet they're like 10 seconds a lap faster than me. How is this possible? Well, in consideration, I think I found the reason why it's possible, and that's because I am rubbish on the brakes. Given an opportunity to slam on right there. And because I have a bit of I'm carrying an injury, well, a permanent injury to my right shoulder. I am quite weak on my right side compared to my sort of whole core strength, which isn't bad because I cycle a lot. But I do find myself braking quite early, and I think that's where I'm losing most of my time. I'm braking a metre or two back, which slows the bike down quicker, and it's slower to get going again, obviously, out of the corner. So that, you wind that up over a lap, if it's a second a corner, well, there it is. That's what I'm losing. That and probably a lack of smooth consistency on my part, because on Monday I was trying my best to really get on it, and if you watch back through the footage, I'm hanging off the side of that bike. I'm giving it full Marquez, as in my head I was doing anyway, not in reality. But I'm hanging off, knees on the floor, I've got my elbow down, any more and the thing will be touching on the floor. Not that I'm in here, I can't do that because I've got no elbow protectors, but I can kind of see how you can get your elbow down. It's just a matter of getting your body further over the side of the bike. So I think I was jumping around all over the bike, upsetting the balance of it a little bit, especially in the corners. So I think I need to be smoother, and I need to learn to brake later. And I'm probably going to have to start doing a whole bunch of press-ups every day just to try and get that little bit of strength I need in my upper body so I can do it. And that's what I need to do. But also from riding this, and it was the first time that I've ever owned it, and I spoke about it on the review of the bike, and that is this bike's one weakness, well, one great weakness, and that's its brakes. Because I was braking quite hard and trail braking into corners, albeit earlier than normal. I was very, very mindful just how poor these brakes are compared to its competitions. Don't get me wrong, they are strong and they will pull you up, but they just lack that initial bite that a good set of Brembo M50s have, say like on the Aprilia RS Veefour RF that I test rode last year. You know, there's just that lack of initial bite that you want. Come on. I've been trusting the wheelie control a little bit more on this recently, so I've been having a bit of fun. Still can't wheelie properly, but anyway, brakes, that's where I was. So yeah, so between me and this bike, my braking is letting me down. Wheelie! I can address my issues by doing a bit of upper body strength work, and on the bike, if I do take this on a track day again this year, is a different set of brake pads, maybe a race set, you know, and that might just give it that little bit more feel and modulation that it's missing. And I can brake a bit later, hopefully, because my 4C8 R1, that has its own stock brakes on, but they're not anti-lock, and they're about a 20-year-old designer caliper, but they're stronger than this, they really are. So yeah, corner ABS and all that, it comes at a price, it comes at a reduced feel. So I'm going to address that, because on the 4th of May I'm taking my other R1, my track bike, to Donington again to see if I can improve and carry on. But of course I need to be a bit more careful, because that bike doesn't have rider aids, whereas this one does, and I was relying on them quite a lot. You know, I was leaning on the traction control and the slide control quite a lot, especially on my favourite corners like McLean's and the old hairpin. You know, I was getting a bit of movement out of the back wheel, and you can tell it you can see it on the tyre. I've totally messed the tyre up, but I think that's a lot to do with the fact this bike isn't set up to my body weight properly, and probably needs that doing. All in good time. So yeah, but it was a great track day and I felt confident, and I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm about as fast as I can go. I'll learn to brake a little bit later, and that'll get the lap times going down, but the aggregate speed through the sections I'm happy with. I'm quite happy with my speed through Craner now. I was comparing it with some faster riders than me on YouTube, and I'm not far off it. So happy days. So anyway, just a little update. I've tried to do a bit of footage from my marshalling activities, and I recorded a vlog on my Triumph just the other day, and I was editing it up and it was putting me to sleep. It was so dull. So if I'm finding it dull editing it, then I won't inflict it on you. I'll do another one, I promise. I'm at Donnington Park this weekend for the May Day Bank Holiday race meeting there for the British Superbike, so I'll try and do a little bit of something from there, and hopefully you might find it interesting. But anyway, with just this little quick one done. I just love how the front end does light on this bike. Second gear is so much fun. Yep, so anyway, as always everyone, hit the like button if you so feel inclined, and if you're new to my channel, give it a subscribe. So in the meantime, keep it shiny side up everyone, and I will see you on the next episode. Adios, bye bye.